Hello everyone, it is March 16th, 2020, and I wanted to give you an update about a little project I've been working on. I guess I can't really call it an update, I don't know if I've even talked about it yet, but what I'm doing is I am converting this iMac G4 15-inch into a Raspberry Pi arcade system of some sort. I don't know what I'm going to run on it yet, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shove a Raspberry Pi in it. So, why I'm doing this, let me give you a little background into it. This is an iMac G4 15-inch I picked up for free, along with a couple other things, and I had all the intentions in the world of reviving it and getting it working again. Unfortunately, I ran into a bunch of issues. First was when I tried to upgrade the hard drive to a much larger one, I ended up damaging the video cable that goes up to the screen from the logic board. I found out later that not only was it the, whoa, there we go, focus. Not only was it the end of the cable, it was also the connector on the logic board. I tried to repair them both to no avail, and decided to, take it apart, try it once more just in case to see if I can get it to work. Well, I had the base of the iMac, this portion down here, upside down on the floor for some reason, right under my desk, and I must have got some pieces of wire from when I was cutting and splicing the wire in there, and they got into the power supply. Well, next time I turned that power supply on, the power supply shorted out. There was a big bang and a little bit of smoke. Killed the power supply, and it killed the logic board. So I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm done trying to revive this thing. I'm just going to do what I want with it because it's my iMac, and I'm going to do whatever I want with it. And so I started the project of turning it into something completely different. So after about, I won't bore you with this, but after about, 8 hours of trial and error, I finally was able to get a DVI connection, convert the connection that comes from the iMac screen into a DVI connection. So I can plug this into anything with a DVI output and it'll display on the screen, which is nice. One issue I'm having, which I think will be resolved in just a couple days once I get the part I need, is this is the wiring for the backlight. Should just hook it up, should just work. I have to jump a green wire to 5 volts and it'll turn on. Well, you have to do that with a resistor, and I don't think my resistor is rated for enough. I think it's only a 1/4 watt, and I need at least a 1/2 watt resistor. So once I get that in, I should be able to have this as a fully functional display. But until then, it's kind of up in the air, I guess. Here is what I've been working on last night. Some of you may hate this, but you know what? It was a dead logic board anyway, and it's my iMac, so I'll do what I want with it. This is a chopped up piece of an iMac G4 logic board. I'm using it pretty much just to mount pieces to. So right here are where the 3 USB ports used to be, and I have these 3 pieces of USB extension cable. Tied them together, got them all spaced apart, and it's kind of hard to show you while holding the camera, but they do line up perfectly with the ports on the back of the iMac. So I'm going to somehow attach those to the board so they have something rigid to be on. I'm also using it, one is going to be for the audio, but the other port I'm going to use is the Ethernet jack, which actually does work. So I took a little piece of patch cable I had and soldered it onto the connector, the little pins that come off the connector, and yeah, it works just fine. So that's nice. What was I going to say next? There's something I wanted to say. Crap, I don't really remember. Anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at with the project right now. Just trying to figure out exactly how I want things to go. I do have the Pi set up over here. It's running RetroPie at the moment. Don't know if that's what I'm going to use all the time, but it seems to be a good option, so maybe. The next thing I really have to figure out, though, is how to get power into here. It shouldn't be too difficult. I need a power supply to power the screen and the inverter, and one to power the Pi, and another one to power whatever amplifier I use for the speakers, if I end up doing that. I'm not quite sure about that yet. The issue is going to be what is the issue going to be actually? Oh, so I need a 5 volt, a 12 volt, and let's see, the Pi runs off 5 volts, the screen needs 5 and 12, and I believe my audio needs 12. So what I'm thinking about doing is using, wherever it went, one of these, which is supposed to be for, connecting up a Molex or a SATA hard drive and powering it right from, a power brick. I might use one of those in here. I'm not really sure though. What I'd also like to do is somehow figure out some way to integrate a power button, a soft power button. Don't know how to go about that yet. I might end up having to use a very small power supply out of maybe a small form factor machine. Don't really know yet what I'm going to do about that, but that is one of my next tasks after attaching the USB ports to here. So we'll see what happens with all of that. Right now it's pretty much going as planned. I've just spent so much time on this freaking DVI connector that I need to take a break. So I thought I would put out this little update video about how everything is going at the moment. Yeah, another thing I'll have to figure out is I currently have the power supply that was original to the PC or the Mac in here. I am going to take it out because it is taking up space, but if I do that, the iMac is probably going to tilt forward and fall over. I mean, right now it's a little bit tilty. I just don't know if I need to figure out what to do with weight, I guess is what I'm getting at. I don't know how much weight I need to have in here in order for it to not tip over. So I may end up, maybe I could even integrate this into the system somehow, putting this optical drive assembly and hard drive assembly in, maybe putting the Pi up here because the fan will be sitting above it, help cool it maybe. Not really sure where to go with all that yet, but we will get there when we get there. So yeah, there's a little update on a project you didn't even know I was working on. Hope everybody's doing well in this very strange time for the world with the virus outbreak and all that stuff. If you got any comments or questions or suggestions on how to make this project go a little more smoothly, let me know. All right.